Okay, welcome everyone. My name is Joy Rice. I am the director for Center for Global Education, and I'm excited for you to learn more about the South Africa program. Today we have with us our newest program manager, Ellen Anderson, and then we also have with us the director who will be going, and then we have three alums from last year program as well. So different sections, they will be introducing themselves and telling you more of why South Africa might be the right program for you. And so I'm excited for you to learn more about this program. And then at the end, we'll talk through next steps and those kind of things here today. So just getting right into things. So we'll have time for questions at the end as well. So before getting started, if you guys want to shortly say your name, major, and what was the top reason you wanted South Africa before we get started? And I can be your moving along.
Okay, perfect.
Go ahead.
I'm Josh. I am a business major, global business major, English writing minor. And the thing that really drew me towards South Africa was I went to this info meeting just like you guys did, and I found about how exciting it looked. It looked so different from the other study abroad programs. And also, I really just wanted to I never left the country before studying abroad, and I kind of wanted to just get as far away as I possibly could. And that is a pretty long distance, and it's just a really spectacular place. And that's what pulled me in.
I'm Lauren. I'm a senior biochemistry major, and similar to Josh, I think all of us that were there, we just wanted something different, than just, and something, no shade to that. But yeah, I wanted to be able to hike. I like the outdoors and animals, and I wanted to be in that, so.
I'm Annie. I'm also a global business major. I'm a minor in art too. And I think I've got my top two reasons. First, the location for sure. For me, like going to school here at St. Ben's, one of the it wasn't close to the mountains, wasn't close to the ocean, but it's close to my family, which I love. But one time in your life where you can go really far away, with the oceans and the mountain, that's kind of what drew me in. And then the second one is the global service learning aspect. This is one of the only study abroad options that we'll talk about it later. But you have the opportunity to volunteer in the local community, which I really was pulled into. So those are my two.
Okay, shifting to welcome South Africa. Go ahead.
Okay, so you'll be staying in Stellenbosch, which is like 45 minutes from Cape Town, which is a really big port city. So when you think about South Africa, Cape Town is like a really big city in the area. Stellenbosch is 45 minutes away, so it's like 20 minutes from the beach, 45 minutes away from the big city, 100,000 people. The campus is kind of right in the middle of the town, so it's all walking distance to all the restaurants, and all the stores in the mall are all kind of right in the same town area.
The other thing about Stellenbosch is like the Stellenbosch University, which is where you go to school. It's a really cool change of pace because it's there's like 30,000 students. So if you're used to this small school adventure, it's a very different kind of change of pace. It's cool to get to live a semester not only in a different country, but also at a big school where there's a ton of people to meet. There's a lot of experiences we had. That's just a beautiful town. There's just all sorts. The mountains are right behind it. The beaches are really close, and there's a lot to do.
The architecture is beautiful. You can see in that top left picture, there's a lot of like Dutch influence on the architecture there, so it's very beautiful. In our study abroad, we learned in one of our classes about like the spaces and how they like really try to make them aesthetic and beautiful. And so like even walking down the street, like here's one of the outdoor restaurants. It's just like beautiful. Everything is, they really think about the architecture there and the outdoor spaces.
Right.
Maybe point out the mountains, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
it's
the architecture is amazing, but they're just trying to keep up with the natural surroundings.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. You can walk to the foothills of a mountain like 20 minutes from your apartment door.
Yeah.
The three of us, we camped on top of one of the mountains, not that one, but the one you can't see it. That one's also gorgeous, but we hiked from our apartment door to the top of the mountain in 6 hours and stayed on top of it and watched the sunrise and then walked back down.
It was big. It was just cowboy.
Yeah,
thing.
and it was awesome. So that's right there if you're interested in hiking.
Stellenbosch University is a big university, like Josh said, so it's different pace than here. Yeah, 22,000 students on campus, but more like 32,000, I'm pretty sure, total. And then you're in a cohort of 500 international students, so it might seem like a huge university, it's like a crazy jump compared to here. But you're in this like fairly small cohort of like 500 students who are all in the same boat as you. So when we got there like a week and a half early compared to the students who are from South Africa. And we got to just like bond with the international students, learn the campus. It was like a very smooth transition so that we were like equipped the other students or the other international students. Yeah, facilities are amazing, really nice gym, really nice.
Also for
All the classrooms, yeah. really nice.
for how big the school is, the campus is actually like fairly consolidated to
Yeah.
one space. Like you can walk from one end of the campus to the other in like 15 minutes.
Yeah, easy to
And
navigate.
it's easy to navigate. All the actual academic buildings are like kind of in one space, so you get like a lot of interaction with other students. And then the town that surrounds it is also still super walkable and everything's just very accessible. It's accessible on foot or bike. There's bikes you can get there that you can rent. And it's just, it's a very accessible town, very accessible university.
And
It's all
within that
close.
community, like the international students, we got really close with them, so like, we made friends with people from Germany and Spain, and like those become your people, it's just like total community, and then also within AIFS. There was a couple other students from within the states that were part of AIFS with us, so like, one of my best friends is now like from Vermont, and like,
Yeah.
that was just unique, so there's not many of them, but within these communities, there's smaller ones, and you just get closer and closer to them, so,
Yeah.
very unique, but.
Did we touch on AIFS enough?
Yeah.
Yeah, on campus, the campus community is very vibrant. People are super involved. Honestly, similar to St. Vincent John's, it's like China football. They have Stellenbosch rugby team, which is like super hype. Everybody goes. And for you, when you go, it's in the spring, but it's their fall. So you go and it's kind of like the same vibe on campus here, but there because it's everybody's coming back from summer break or whatever you call it. And so they have this rugby, which is so fun. Everybody goes to the games. There's a thing called a vibe band that you can sign up for, and they'll like take you skydiving and take you surfing and kind of an easy, it's almost like a tourist company, but they make it really easy and safe to like do a bunch of fun outings that you want to do. Yeah, they do like student deals and stuff. There's a mall on campus, so that's that picture on the bottom right. The Neil C is great. They had a bunch of food options, any shopping that you need to get done, especially just like household supplies and like school supplies and stuff. What else? Yeah, the gym is that top left picture. Honestly, the bougiest gym I've ever been to.
It's so nice.
It's like
That's
stuff.
ridiculous.
And if you're into like running and
It's
stuff,
great.
they have really good like running
Outdoor,
trails
yeah.
and stuff, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Volunteer in the community, that was one of the courses that you have the opportunity to take. All of our students take it. It was volunteering with the local schools, and so we all got placed at different schools, and it was honestly like the biggest blessing of study.
Yeah.
It was such a wonderful way to connect with the community, and see a part of Stellenbosch that like you probably won't see if you just go visit. So that was probably.
And real quick, touching on what Annie said at the very beginning, when you get there and you leave in our winter and you arrive at the beginning or in the middle of their summer, if you don't like Minnesota winters, we left when it was -35 degrees and we got there, it was 98 for about 2 months.
Yeah.
And the UV I didn't know went above 10, it was like 12 every day, so.
Yeah.
We were gonna be.
The beaches are
Yeah.
nice. It's good if you like so.
Yeah, there's a lot of activities that the students all participate in, like it's I would say similar to St. Ben's in the way that like everybody kind of gets really excited about the Stellenbosch stuff. So it's super fun, like everybody was involved, which made it feel kind of smaller too. Academic stuff, there's a wide variety of classes that you take one with your professor. The community engagement is the one I just touched on with volunteering in the schools. And then you can select just like 3 different classes. Some of our students chose mainstream classes, other students chose the international student classes. The main difference is that one of them is tailored towards South African students. So like if you're enrolled at Stellenbosch for 4 years, you would be taking all those classes. They're I would say like more difficult, but if you're needing credits for your major, definitely manageable. We had plenty of students do that. And then there's classes that are tailored specifically to international students, basically with the goal of like, you've never been to South Africa, let's fill you in on the past a lot of time. And so it's super interesting. We took like pop culture and history and photography. And we got to learn more about South Africa in a classroom setting, but more from just like a you're from America, you're from anywhere international, what is there to know? So
Yeah.
I took all of those classes and it was so cool.
I got to take one of the actual mainstream classes with like just South African students. And it was really interesting because all of our international classes, you're not really interacting with that many South Africans, 'cause it's all international students who are also studying abroad with you, which is really cool. We got to meet a lot of cool people, but I got to do an ecology class with just South Africans, and we had like a field biology trip that we went on to. I got to get super close with a couple of them, and that was just a lot of fun.
The school's also huge on like field trips. I feel like every other week,
100%.
like we're going into Cape Town, we're
Yeah.
going just randomly, like for my sustainable agriculture class, like we went to go see the penguins, like.
Yeah.
And it was like, what does this have to do with agriculture? They're like, I don't know. Like, it's really fun. It's like, they like really wanna show you.
Yeah. Especially as the international classes, they want you to like learn as much as you can about their culture and about their place and about their home country. And so it was cool to be in a group of students from all over the world, and do class projects together and learn from each other. And even just being in the room with people from other countries is super impactful.
Also, real quick, that's the mountain that we catch.
That's
You
true.
can see it from your
Yeah,
class,
that's
in case you were wondering.
Well, and one of the classes you take is gonna be with your director, and so let's hear more from him.
Yeah, before I jump in, do any of you have questions, about some of the stuff you've been hearing so far? I know, it's a ton of info to
Yeah,
take
yeah.
in. And there's a lot of, well, there's 3 ambassadors here giving you their takes. Do you have any questions so far?
Okay.
All right. Yeah, so my name is Kyle. Here I teach environmental studies. I'm also the writing center director. And in South Africa, I will be teaching that seminar class. So hopefully you all sign up, apply for the program. And that'll be a chance for us to have, I don't know, not sure exactly how many times per week it'll meet, but let's say a couple for sure. That'll be a chance for us to kind of touch base and for you to process and have a space to reflect on your experience along the way and things like that. Yeah, a little bit here about me. It'll be my 3rd time going to South Africa. So the first time I went there, I was basically in your all shoes. I was a member of the first CSB+SJU cohort that went to South Africa. Yeah. So Aubrey Immelman and psychology went. Yeah.
That's my dream.
So I got to go there.
Mhm.
Yeah. And yeah, it was the first time I'd left North America. So it was pretty exciting.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to go back.
Well, and how many years
I don't know.
post apartheid? Is that like 4 years? 3 years? I'm trying to remember like 94 is apartheid, right? Is that the year? Yeah, so 4
Yeah,
years.
4
That's,
years.
you're fresh.
Yeah, so it was super, I mean, that was a big draw for me
Mhm.
because I had, been reading about all these things happening in South Africa in the news, and I was really interested in kind of the freedom movement and justice aspects. So when I was there, I think it's, yeah, up here it talks about how then President Bill Clinton went to South Africa and is the first American president to visit in many, many years. And Nelson Mandela was president when I was there. I got to go to some of the Truth and Reconciliation hearings. And I'd sit out in a room sort of like this one, honestly, attached to the courthouse. And the testimony would be going on in there, but I would go sit in the room because then I could put on the headphones and hear the translation and watch like all the reporters from all these major news outlets like the BBC, as well as South African news, other world news reporters were in that room, like filing their reports every day. So super interesting. I also got involved when I was there with like the track club and just had a really good time being a student there. So something I always hoped I'd get to go back and do, and then in 2023 I was able to go back. Kind of a mind-bending experience. I lived in the exact same building I had lived in 1998. It's like, what is going on? But eventually I figured it out. those experiences were in a different city, which you can see in the background here, the beach at, Gaberha or Port Elizabeth, which is in the Eastern Cape, but Stellenbosch is in the Western Cape region. So they're a few hundred miles away. But I got to actually go to Stellenbosch, while I was there last time and kind of meet with AIFS, the director of the international student group there. And so I kind of know what we're getting into this time. And I'm really excited about the change. So much going on in Stellenbosch. I think it's a really stellar university and just location. Let's see.
Ellen.
Stellar.
How did we never think of it?
Stellar, don't Stellenbosch.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
Oh.
what is Stellenbosch? It means like Bosch is like woods, right?
What
Is
is
it,
it?
um,
And
Oak?
Stellan is named
Is
after
it
somebody.
Oh, so.
Yeah, city of trees.
Oh, something, okay.
Yeah. All right, anyway, so it's a great place. Yeah, I should talk about this class. My wife was in that last picture too, and she'll be assistant director. She's a high school art teacher. And so she'll be able, like last time around in 23, she did like a little photography class for students, not for credit or anything, just like, here's some tips how to take really good photos for your album and for social media and sharing with family. and friends. And then I also have 3 kids that'll come with. Right now they're 13, 11, and 6. So
That's okay.
yeah, they're pretty fun.
They're living the dream.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, they're the biggest reason I applied to go again, because they've been begging me for ever since we got back, to please go back. So that's good. Yeah, so the class, I am planning to teach, again, it involves a lot of your own, reflection and experiences there. I also like looking at this through kind of a lens of, truth telling. So trying to see what the freedom movement there did, how people, find their purpose in life and get really passionate about something they're willing to take risks for, tell the truth, even if it's inconvenient or if it has some kind of personal struggle attached to it. So we'll look primarily at, more recent things, 1990s to the current day. As an environmental studies prof, I'll also try to build in some environmental movement stuff and just a look at the region that you'll all be getting to live in.
Okay, and we can, if we have any questions at the end, we can feel free to
Yeah.
add in that piece, but a little bit, examples of some of the courses you can take. They mentioned also the photography courses. So if you go to the global portal in the academic section, it will show the full list that are already vetted for, the integrations curriculum. So here is, I know Lauren mentioned the sustainable agricultural class. And so these are all examples of the classes with other international students, but also on that list is going to be those what are referred to more as like their mainstream or with local student classes as well. So lots of options there. Talking more about the service learning component.
Well, we all went to the same school. We all got to go to Excelsior Primary, which was this, like, it was essentially it was a Montessori school for all these workers of this big estate. And we all got to work with these young kids who were like the age of 6 months to 5 years, which was ridiculous. We're just like holding babies all day, which was awesome. And I know the program's changing and it's a little different now. There's gonna be different schools that are participating in, but it was like one of the best parts of being there. Like I'm joining the BBC after graduation, and part of the reason I'm doing that is to go work with kids, because I fell in love with it while being in South Africa. So it was kind of awesome.
It's a cool way to get to know the community. Again, like if you were just traveling to South Africa, you probably wouldn't have the opportunity to do something like this. And so being able to live there, for 5 months and get to know students that live there, and have them impact you and just like communicate with them and get to know their lives. It's just genuinely such a beautiful experience. And such a unique way to immerse yourself in the culture of the people and the language, through education.
It's honestly a ridiculous way to get college credit. It's kind of-
Yeah, like watching kids like say like their first words and you're just like
It
there
was-
for it. Like,
yeah.
it's just like, yeah,
Really
it's really cool.
Very rewarding.
You're living in a place.
Concordia.
Okay, so basically you stay in this apartment building, it's called Concordia. There's a huge apartment neighborhood kind of
Complex.
complex.
Yeah.
Where there's like a bunch of different little apartment buildings, and all of the international students, or basically all of them, all live in this area. Super safe to get in, you like have your fingerprint, and there's multiple gates, you need to like scan your ID, and it's just a very safe area to live. And you live with Benny's and Johnny's, but you have the opportunity to request a Benny and Johnny and then live with international students if you want to. You get your own room. So for me, it was like the first time in my life that I ever got my own room and my own bathroom, which was so nice. Like honestly, it's amazing. You have your own room, your own bathroom. And it's also nice if you don't have a restroom situation, you have your own space. And then you have a full kitchen, similar to like junior and senior apartments at St. Ben's, St. John's. You have a full kitchen and everything. What else? Yeah, you get bedding, blanket, and
Just kitchen
Stuff
equipment.
there.
You got, you show up and you
Yeah.
have the stuff that you need.
they like know you're international students, so
Yep.
they like prepare for you. You don't need to like pack stuff like that, which is really nice. There's laundry there. It's pretty similar to St. Ben's. It's like you have a card that you just scan. And then
The best parts are right outside is.
Oh.
where we're standing
Tapas
in this.
Tapas Deli.
Is, yeah, so that's just like kind of like a mini gas station. So you
It's
can go
like
there for,
Sexton,
like,
but better.
late night lunchies and really good like meals, like lunch they have.
Yeah, the
meals
meal of the
day.
day.
Oh my God.
And it's like really good
Something for-
food, it's all really cheap, that's another like, like everything was. Like nothing's over $4. Also, so it's like awesome, and then also the courtyard. It's,
Yeah.
like, the best place ever, like we just hang out there every single night.
Getting
The apartment building is shaped as like a rectangle, so it's like building in a rectangle shape, and then the center is just like this big courtyard, and that's pretty common around Stellenbosch. There's a lot of buildings like that. But it's nice that it's our apartment, because in the middle there was like areas where you could grill, and so that's why they call it a braai. So there was like plenty of space to do that. But our study abroad group used that space a lot to hang out. And
It's really fun because you all live in this one big quad and someone would just hang out in the courtyard.
then you look at
And you
your.
start shouting, you just be like,
Go down.
come downstairs, and then all of a sudden people just shuffle through and then that happens.
Yeah, there's more pictures of the dorms, really nice. There's a little lounge, is that top left corner, top right is the desk that you have a closet, spot to put. Yeah, it's very convenient, very nice. Garden room is one of the trips that you go on, this is a fully included trip, so this is what you do for like your spring break, it's like a week long, or 4 or 5 days long. But you go over your spring break time, wonderful experience, it's a really common like road trip. I'm picturing like here we have like the national parks that you like drive to multiple of them. This is like kind of like that, where it's like a road along the coast. There's multiple pit stops made on the way. Super fun. Our group got really close on this. There's additional different activities that you can do if you want to go bungee jumping, skydiving, or horseback riding.
We won't
Surfing.
spoil all of it.
Yeah, there's tons of different things that you can do as add-ons as well. And our group had fun, so much fun on that. You stay in this wonderful place called Jeffrey's Bay. You get to see these caves up on the top right. Go on a safari. And so this part is all included. So this is like a week-long trip, or a 4-day, 5-day long trip. Where you just get to be there. Also what's included with AIFS is these day excursions. So not only like that big trip, in the middle of your time there, but they'll take you on these, they're optional, but our group all went on them because it's like, oh, free trip to the Cape of Good Hope, which is like this beautiful picture up on the left. Nelson Mandela. We went to literally like Robben Island, yeah, all of these really cool places, and these were all just like included, like, hey, you're studying abroad, we'll take you to go see these things. So you can do them on your own, but we all just did it together, which was so fun.
One thing about the Robben Island is the tour guides are people who are actually in prison there during the time of apartheid, which that time is like really running out, and so this is kind of like a once in a lifetime
Yeah.
opportunity. Like that won't be around like when you're in your 40s or something. Like, you won't get to actually hear about Robben Island from people who were there at the same time as Nelson Mandela. So
It's also just amazing you get an email from a wonderful woman named Hessia that you would meet. And then you would just hop on a bus and then
She's like,
the
hey,
days,
sure, let's do
the
it.
days ahead of you, and it's just awesome,
Really awesome.
super fun.
Fully planned, easy, you don't have to pay for the Uber, pay for anything. This is an optional excursion right at the beginning of your trip. I would say,
It's not optional, you have to do
so
it.
as optional, it's like an additional fee, so it's not part of your study abroad program like the garden route or like the day excursions, but I would say like 98% of our group did this. There was a few students who didn't. But this was one of those ones where when we got back, we were like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad we did that. Like, it was probably the best 3 days of our entire study abroad. It's also for when we had it, at least it was like the first weekend that we got there. So initially some of the hesitation was like, oh, we just got here, like, I don't wanna leave. But you just got there with the study abroad group, and then you get to go on this camping trip where you get so close right away, and it kind of sets the tone for your entire time abroad. It's, or, you know, it's not camping, but you get to go, the pictures kind of speak for themselves. It's wonderful. You do a wonderful hike, you do some wine tasting, you get really.
You say more in like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
that
it's
is
nice,
accurate.
it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but-
wonderful excursion. I would say like for the price, like 100% worth it if you can make it work.
It looks
It, like-
intimidating now, like the price, like you're in college and you're like just trying to like, get groceries and stuff, like I waited until the last minute to pay it, but. Christmas is coming up, I don't know, like it's 100% worth it.
Yeah.
It's an absolute highlight, and like Annie was saying, you get there, and for us, it was in the first like 2 weeks we were doing it. So we got there, like, I remember at one point, we were all sitting around the fire, just like playing hot seat, just talking,
Yeah.
asking questions, because we didn't know each
You
other.
know, like, I never met them. It's-
Yeah.
Yeah. And just being able to have the experience of like, the garden route was almost that, like, oh, we only have 2 months left, and this was like, you guys, we have 5 more months of it.
Just like,
It was crazy.
it's a ton of fun.
All right, so I know you kind of talked a little bit about some of the highlights of why others should choose. Any other ones you want to think through or share for this group as they're pondering what program to choose? Go ahead, yeah.
It's the longest program that CSB+SJU offers, which was kind like, it sounds kind of daunting, like, oh, you're gonna miss everything. But I had friends getting back in May, and I had a month and a half left, which felt really awesome, because I never wanted to leave. But it was just, it's just so much fun. The animals, the wildlife, the scenery is just so spectacular. Like, I saw a leopard while walking around, which was crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I think 2 for me is 1, like. The price not only of like the program is cheaper than the other ones, I think. And then also when you're there, everything is really
Yeah.
cheap compared to say like
Mhm.
London.
Yeah.
That is like, it's
100%.
just expensive to go out to dinner. We could go out to dinner and get
Every night.
wine, appetizers, like everything is just. Like all of the
Yeah.
prices,
Yeah, the
like it's so cheap, which just makes it, you can just experience more of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the exchange rates, like, when we were there, it was like anywhere between 17 to 19 to 1. South African rand to US dollars. So if you're a broke college student
This is literally.
who wants to feel like you're living a bougie lifestyle for like 4 months, you just get to be in wine country.
It's true.
You just get to be in wine country and your money's worth more. It shapes up to be really, really fun.
You get some of like the best wine in the world for like $4, like.
It's all you have to dinner, like honestly,
Ubers are cheap.
for, I mean, for me and my friends here, it is like, maybe for our birthday, we'll have to go out to dinner, but like there, it really was like.
Who's
The,
hungry?
yeah, it was really nice. That was a huge factor for sure.
Yeah.
Again, like the highlight for me, like the location of it was just amazing to be able to be, like, I love hiking, I love the ocean. It was like genuinely the most ideal place to live because you're so close to both. And so our group was really adventurous. So like they were saying earlier, we had a lot of fun just like adventuring around and getting to know the area. And I would say that's another one of the things that drew me into South Africa. Because unlike other programs, you stay here. You get to like live in South Africa for 4 months. You can do some travel here and there, maybe a weekend trip once in a while. But honestly, the program is in Stellenbosch. And so unlike other programs, I would say mostly Europe, where you're hitting 9 countries by the time you're home. It's an amazing way to see the world, but this is an amazing way to like live somewhere else. And really feel like you create a home somewhere. So that was probably one of my highlights too, being able to like really live there. Like I felt like I was part of the community.
Like, our director, Matt Callahan, shut up. One of the things he said was, you know, you can do 9 countries in Europe cheaper, and you can do it in 3 weeks, but then you're a tourist. But if you are living in Stellenbosch, you're not a tourist, you're a traveler. You're an American who's living in the community and being a part of it, and Europe will still be there. He said that you can go to Ireland for like a long weekend. You're not really inclined to make the 16-hour plane ride more than you have to, but it's really cool to just like get to go somewhere completely different. Because I look at my 5 friends who studied abroad in London and Spain and in Ireland, and it's not a shot at them, but their pictures are all the same. And we hug elephants.
I was gonna say, like, in half a day, I saw penguins, and this was like a 1-hour drive. We saw penguins, we saw whales, and then we saw zebras, and that was like all in like a 4-hour period. And like, where else in the world are you gonna, like, while we're driving along, like, the ocean, and then we have mountains on the side, like, where else in the world are you gonna do that?
Kyle, anything to add?
I mean, they're all saying it really, really well. I would say, you know, I go as like, you know, a guy with a family. We are used to like roughing it, like taking the tents and packing lunches. We go there and yeah, like they were saying, and you saw those pictures of the cabin at the Cedarburg Mountains. Like it is luxurious by comparison, and it's cheaper than like roughing it here.
Yeah,
So that's partly why my kids are like, Dad, we have to go back because
We don't rough it.
we get to go eat, we get to
Yeah.
eat out and we get to have like a milkshake with our dinner.
It's like $2 for the, no, like,
Yeah.
it's actually serious.
The
I got
dinner
a
is
shake.
$2,
like,
the
every-
milkshake's 50 cents.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty amazing perk of
Mhm.
it. But you know, all that aside, it really is this immersive experience, right? So being able to take in this entirely different part of the world, right, in the global south, world-class scenery, really welcoming, friendly culture that is accessible to you to talk to and kind of learn from. It's really nice.
They do love Americans.
Yeah, it's simultaneously very different, but also very
Yeah.
kind of accessible
Mhm.
for you.
Yeah. All right, well, shifting gears to those costs. So for your semester abroad, you will pay the same tuition that you normally pay here on campus, but instead of your room and board costs, in its place would be the education abroad fee. Now, this is the fee for this spring. The costs for next spring aren't out yet. They are typically out at the same time as like tuition. They typically anticipate going up to 3 to 5%, depending on what tuition raises. So just anticipate that type of price range upgrade. And then just know everything that you have for your aid, financial aid, that means scholarship, institutional aid, external, FAFSA related, all of that follows you for your semester abroad. So this is technically sticker price, but no, like typically on campus, hardly anyone pays sticker price. And so really go into like your banner finance, go look what a semester looks like, delete room and board, put in this cost, and then see what that bottom line. This is what you pay St. Pat, St. John, but then there's going to be the estimate for those out-of-pocket expenses. So some of it's going to be pre-departure. To apply is that $300. Then there is going to be that airfare that is happening now for our students going abroad next spring. There is a few visa-related fees. And then if you don't have a passport, that fee as well. So that's the pre-departure. And then the on-site really is as long as this program is, there isn't a meal plan, but as they say, there's that kitchen available, but also eating out. On average, this is what students say they have spent around that. We do require all students to have some sort of data or cell phone workable while abroad, and then that personal miscellaneous. We do also have spending money for independent travel, but I would say this is where there is definitely cost. So depending on what you do, so students have done more and students have done less. So if you want to like add like your own additional huge safari in Kruger, that's gonna be higher. But if you're sticking around mostly around Cape Town and that kind of thing, this is in that that ballpark there. So these would be costs. We do have additional scholarships through our office with the Global Scholarship. There is an AIFS, our partner does give 2 students a scholarship. And then we have, if you happen to have a Pell Grant, we do like to talk through that scholarship with students. Jessica in our office works with students on the Gilman there. So there are additional scholarships in addition to what you already have through St. Ben St. John's that you can apply for helping with that cost. And so what we say is the cost above being on campus for the semester, the gap you need to worry about is about $4,400 above being on campus. So a lot of it is sunk into that airfare and then some of that food and spending money there. So that's kind of talking through costs. Any questions on that right now? All right. So the next thing would be the application. It is open. And so, right now you're deciding on what program is right for you, but no, here are kind of the criteria we're looking at, making sure that your GPA is right around that 2.5 or higher. There is essays, 3 essays as a part of that application. So what are your personal goals for this program, academic goals, and professional goals? You complete a resume. If you need to update your resume, and our Experience Hub, they can help you with that. There are 2 references. You need one that is a faculty member, and then one who is a non-faculty member. So this could be a coach, this could be your FR, this could be a RD. If you work here on campus, it just can't be a fellow student or a family member. And really I would send them an email to say, hey, will you be a reference? And then in the application, you literally will insert their email and they'll just get 1 question. So it's not like they have to write a letter of recommendation. They will just answer 1 question of like, how do you know this person? And in what capacity do you think they would be a good fit for this program kind of thing? So that's kind of what the reference entails. And then do note, we do take the disciplinary, so conduct into account. And so if that is a place on the application that you can talk through, but that is another aspect we take into account. You will do an interview with your director. So that is there. And then, so for any of these, really taking time to dive deeper of why this is the program. For any one of our study abroad programs, you're going to learn more about yourself. You're going to learn more about others. You're going to learn more about this world, but really, what is it about South Africa that's different than, say, one of our Europe programs, that this is going to be the program that's the best fit for you? So that's where all of those combination of factors is for the best success. So next steps for you would be creating that financial plan. If you haven't already, going into the global portal to build your traveler profile and then ultimately applying for your program of choice. If you're still exploring or need help on your application, we have student peers called Study Abroad Mentors that are happy to help with that. If you have specific questions about South Africa, feel free to connect with myself, or if you want to connect with Kyle as well, those are all options. We will have practice interviews right when you come back, late January, early February. But the big thing is getting everything in by February 3rd at noon. This is where all those pieces, if you are late, you may need to go into the second round. And so it is key that if you want to be considered for this program, that you do complete your application. I do think that means 26, 27, sorry. Needed updating there. But getting that in by that deadline. You'll interview during this time period and you will get notified on the 17th. If by chance you don't get in, there is a process. If it was South Africa or bust, you could get your application feedback. If you're open to other programs, we will typically open up and let you know, here are the options. It's not usually every program. We do close some programs. And I would say South Africa, we'll see. I always say, people ask me, what is the most popular program? I have seen a rise in this program. I think it will be that. So if you are interested in this program, that's where I don't think it will be open post February 3rd. So, not to scare you, but I just want